everybody, welcome to the Vitruvian Live. Today is Thursday, January 3rd, and today I don't want to talk about how stressful work is at this time, but I want to talk about a small card game that I have had for quite a time in my collection, The Adventure of D. Now, The Adventure of D is a card game that I got as an add-on when I backed my first Kickstarter ever, Goblins vs. Zombies, where the goblins are the good guys. Also a small card game, 106 cards, where it's a kind of a tower defense game, but you could, as an add-on, get The Adventure of D, which I liked better than the other one, luckily enough. So this is also a card game. It is multi-use cards, where you're going on an adventure trying to defeat the evil warlord Elzuf in the Tower of Death. Now, why do I want to talk about this game now? Well, today they launched the second edition Kickstarter for this game, with new artwork, some new rules, some polishing of the game, and I thought, hey, this only apparently had a print run of 350 copies, so this is a kind of a rare item, and now you can get a new edition of this. So I thought, hey, why not show you what this game is all about. Behold, The Adventure of the first edition. So, very important again, the artwork of the new edition will be different, will be better. This artwork is okay, but it wasn't the greatest artwork. It's improved now, but there's also a couple of rule changes. That's why I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I'm going to give you the gist of the game. So this is a game setup with 12 locations, which are always the same, but you place them randomly in this 4x3 grid. And you will start, if you're playing solo or if you play multiplayer, all players will start in the Castle of Light, which is the safest place to be, as you can tell by its name probably. The goal of the game is to defeat the evil Elzuf, the Chaos Wizard, here in the Tower of Death. To do so, you probably need to improve your character skills, because each player will have a random character at the beginning of the game. In this case, we have the priest. The priest, well, every character has a special ability and has his skill stats, which are depicted by these square cards, and you might have to change the number, so you can rotate these in order to change the number that is showing. It goes all the way up to 8. So that's how you can see there are 3 different skills, which are also color-coded. You also have your magic, which also has one of these cards. I'm not sure if this is going to stay the same way to use it, but it might, because this way this game stays small and portable, of course. And as I said, there are more characters you can be at the beginning of the game. You take this randomly, so there's a bunch of different characters. And the cool thing is, as I said, multi-use cards. These cards, when not being used as a character, they are fairy dust, which is an item you can get. As you can see right here, it says item fairy dust, which is a very powerful item, very interesting to have, especially if you're going to the Tower of Death. It also, this pile or a part of it also counts as a timer if you're playing the solo game. So these cards by itself, they have different uses. Hey, what about the items that you say? Well, we have this deck of cards, which also are multi-use cards. Now, in your turn, you're going to do actions until you pass, or until you have to pass, and then you're going to rest. That's the last action you do each round that you play. So, I'm using this silly toy thingy here. The game didn't come with miniatures. It came with these cards that you could cut off and then make standees of them. I didn't do that. I always use a miniature of some other game. So, but each player will start here in the Castle of Light, and in your turn, you can play cards to move and to activate locations. Now, you can see that each card has 2 numbers on them. This will change in the future. This will only have 1 number. The way it used to be is that you play the card to move to an adjacent location, which is a location left, right, or above it, but also going to the other side. So you could go to that card from here if you wished to. So when playing a card, you had a different number. And I'm going to take this one for an example. So this is a very low power card, only worth 1. But you can see this symbol here, which is a shadow number. Now, in the future, as I said, this will just be 1 number and it will be the same for both. But it used to be that if you played a low value card, you might run into a stronger shadow. That changed, but that was how it was. You can also see 8 cards in my hand. That was the hit point as well, because if you go down to 0 cards, you have to rest and then you suffer some consequences as well. But in the new version, apparently, there will be only hit points of maximum 6. That will change, apparently, as I read. So, what can you do on those locations? Well, you can activate them. So, each location does something. For example, this mountain of Prof, you can, as an action, that's the symbol with the hand here, go to Master Vlad and discard 3 yellow cards with different powers to get +1 in that skill. I think that's strength or your fighting skill. So in this case, I could not do that because I didn't have 3 different numbered yellow cards. But as you can see, there are different colors. You have yellow, blue, pink, and neutral cards. And you can use them for skill checks or to activate certain cards. Now, there is more text on these cards, as you can see. And they are printed this way. Because at the end of each round, I think, or at the beginning of each round, you will have to add 1 or 2 events to the board or to the world. And when you do so, you place the card on the top card of a draw pile on top of the location with the same name. Lake of Hope, for example, is right over here, so you would place it on top of it. And now this location's ability is gone because it's covered by this. Also, what might happen, it wasn't in this case, but the danger level of this location might change. What is the danger level? Well, if you do the rest action, which is the last action in your turn, you get to discard any number of cards. You never can go to 0, by the way, and then draw up to your maximum hit points, which is normally 6 in the new version, minus the danger level of the location where you're at. So that's that. So there can be events. Now there can be only 1 event of each color on the table, and also only 1 of on each location. So, but that's small rules already. But some cards also, as you can see, have this green border, which means they can become an item. For example, if this event was on the Castle of Light, you could do a javelin throw challenge, which is a speed or dexterity challenge, and if you win it, you can discard this event and get an item. And that way you could get items like this red scroll, which again you can use later for certain things. This one allows you to teleport to the Castle of Light. So this way you're moving around, doing actions, doing skill checks, activating locations in order to get strong enough to get to the Tower of Death and defeat the Guardian, well, defeat the Chaos Wizard, Elzuf, but you have to enter the magic barrier, you have to get by a trap, you have to defeat a Guardian, and you have to defeat the Wizard. So you probably want to become stronger before you tackle this end boss. If you play solo, there's a timer. If you play multiplayer, you just want to be the first one to do it. And, well, that's the way, in short, how you play Adventures of D. There you go, Adventure of D. It's a game that, well, is nostalgic for me because it was my first Kickstarter, and I'm probably going to back the new one. So this video wasn't asked for by the designer, by Jack Darwitt. I just saw this and I thought, hey, why not make a video about this? Just to help him out, and maybe people are interested in it. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not the deepest game, the biggest game. This is not Gloomhaven, but this is a cool, small box game with multi-use cards, going on an adventure and trying to defeat the wizard on time or first if you play multiplayer. So, pretty cool game if you ask me. If you're interested, go and check out the Kickstarter if you wish, Adventure of D 2nd edition. And there you go. That's the episode for today, folks. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's something different, right? For an episode. I could have done it not as Vitruvian life, but still it had to do something with my life because this was my first Kickstarter that I ever backed. Well, this was, but this came with it. Thank you again for watching. See you all next time. See you soon. Bye bye.